That's your setup. I have no idea what's happening. Okay, what the hell am I doing? This is Sekibanki's Headless Horseman training. It's the game. Right. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Upgrades, huh? What? I got 5 XP. Cost 50. Increases the maximum height of your head's jump for better candy dodging. Sekibanki can now spawn an additional head to keep up with Headless Horseman performance. Sekibanki can keep her balance better to focus on candy. Special feat enhances the horse abilities, allowing you to cover more distance in shorter amounts of time. What am I doing? Right? Right? What is right? Huh? Right. No. No. How do I go the other way? No. There we go. The arrow keys, that's what it is. Oh no, that should go. Okay. I'm 30 XP. Alright. Right. Okay. She throws her head off for some reason. You did not do that. Fuck. Okay. You figure this out eventually. Right? Yeah, no. Am I supposed to jump? Does the spacebar do anything? Yes, it does. It does. Okay. Dodge that. Yes. Dodging candy for some reason. Yes. Yep. Okay, I think I understand what I'm doing now. And I'm dead. I got 73 XP. I can now get better horse speed. Yeah, better horse speed. Sure. What's the goal of this game? I don't know. Just try not to die too quickly, I guess. Wait. Okay. Sekibanki. Second! Okay. Did. Do. Yes. No. Right. Okay. Are these the only two things I have to worry about? My balance and making the head not hit the things that are randomly in the sky? Those are my only two concerns? I guess. So you want to keep your balance better. That's great. Let's do that. I don't know if there's like a goal here. We'll figure that out if I can survive more than 10 seconds. Seki balance. Yes, I'm really bad at jumping apparently. You know, that head can fly, so you can kind of just like stay on an upwards momentum a bit more. No. Additional heads. Okay. Increases the maximum jump height. Couldn't that be problematic if things start getting closer to each other? I don't know. Go faster, horse. Alright. You're getting better upgrades, you're gonna do better. To do something. I don't know if there's... Again, I don't know if there's an end goal to this. Oh yes, right. Additional heads means I can keep going. What that means. Yes. Do it. Keyboard's probably really loud, or maybe it's not. Music was kind of loud during testing, but it seemed okay enough. So I don't know. It's great commentary, but it's kind of hard for me to focus at all on anything, not the game right now. Okay, things keep getting more expensive, but that's okay because I'm gonna get farther because I have better upgrades now. This is the quintessential gaming experience. You get upgrades so you can do better, so you get farther, so you get more upgrades, so you get farther. That's how video games work. Yes. Yep. Why are you so bad at riding a horse? Okay. Me, as someone who's never ridden a horse, has every right to judge you and your horse riding skills. That's not entirely true. I've ridden, like, horses that... You spawned on top of that! And you did it again! I've ridden horses on those, like, little circular rides and on fairs where you just kind of ride a horse. Yep. I remember the place I used to live, some of the neighbors down the street had horses. It's not that uncommon of a thing around here. We're not really getting anywhere, but you know, we're trying. I'm trying. Who's we? I don't know. A collection of independent beings formed into one thought. We are Geth. I mean, that's what a human body is anyway. It's a collection of millions of different types of cells working together to create one advanced organism. Sekibanki's heads, they think independently, or is she one? She is Legion. Huh? God damn it! I don't know how long I'm going to keep playing this, but I'm still playing it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be able to record today. And I don't really have to, because you know, last time I recorded 7 parts, so I got a good, like, 4 days before I run out of content again. But you know, never know when I'm not going to be able to record for like a week again, so when I can record, go ahead and do it. But because of that, I don't feel like, because I'm not running low, I don't feel like the need to rush any of these games that don't really have a point like this one, where I've shown the whole game at this point. I'm just trying to go as far as I can, because why not? Yeah, this is from Jam 5. And I went back and looked at going through Jam 5. There was a couple games that I'm pretty sure I didn't put on there. And I kind of wonder why. I don't know. I think I've recorded like 100 of these damn things at this point. So I've actually made a lot more progress playing these than I thought, mainly because I've been uploading them every day during the summer instead of every other day. So, yeah, knock on wood, maybe I'll actually make it to the end of the list. You know, at a faster rate than jams keep being made, and then maybe I'll actually like go back and add stuff that I probably should have added to the list to begin with, but just didn't for whatever reason, because I was doing too much. I was adding too many games at the same time, and probably just like skipped a bunch of stuff for no real reason. I don't know. I do it. Sekibanki. Where do you think she got this horse from? Can't afford that one. Am I just gonna keep playing until I get all the upgrades? I don't know, this recording's already at 9 minutes. Why not? Make it a half-hour recording of me basically doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know. I had some things to talk about, but I figured I wouldn't. When I started playing this game, I figured I wouldn't be able to talk about it because what the hell's going on? But now that I've kind of gotten the hang of what I'm doing, maybe I can talk about it because it's kind of one of the more unhinged things I had the idea to talk about, and I figured why the fuck not. Alright, so I had a video in my recommended that I started watching. I didn't finish it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Okay. We're getting real expensive now. Can't even afford it. Gotta keep going. We're gonna get farther. The video is called something like the most controversial or unhinged, I don't remember the fucking words, FNAF theories. And so I decided to watch that because that seemed interesting, and it started off talking about some theories that were apparently going around on the TikToks. I know jack shit about the TikToks. And what little I do know about it confuses the fuck out of me. Because apparently the way it works is you just like you open the fucking app, and then in then you just like scroll down and you just get like random content. I assume there's some algorithm to where you get more stuff that you press the like button on or something, but that just seems so weird to me. Like, why would you? I don't get it. I like when the stuff it's in my recommended stuff is stuff I actually want to pick. I don't like it when I just you scroll down and whatever you get is random. I don't get it. But apparently it's really popular to the point where every single other fucking website in the world has replicated it. You got like the Instagram one. I actually had an Instagram once for like 5 minutes in like middle school because my friend recommended it. I think I posted one thing about Plants vs. Zombies or something and then never used it again. That's besides the point. They have YouTube Shorts, that fucking abomination, where, you know, until I started editing, changing the way I edited some of my videos, I kept turning them into fucking shorts and pressing me off. Right. Yes. There we go. I watched another video about YouTube Shorts. Apparently, because, you know, the thing about YouTube is apparently you get more, like, creators get a higher percentage of, like, ad revenue from their videos compared to other platforms. So because of that, it's filled with, like, garbage meant to get as many views as possible in the shortest amount of time. And apparently it's, like, really bad on YouTube Shorts, to where it's just absolutely filled to the brim with low-effort, clickbait, AI-generated garbage. And, you know, on the one hand, that sucks and all, but on the other hand, hey, if those people want to fuck up YouTube Shorts instead of the part of YouTube that actually matters, then sure, fine, I guess. It's basically, you're basically just pouring toxic smog into a radiated dump at that point, you know? Right, anyway, TikTok, the FNAF theories are about TikToks. Apparently TikTok is the hub of bullshit that gets spread around, because apparently there's FNAF theories on TikTok that were basically going, I have this headcanon about this character, and that's fact now. So that's how the video started with that. I was like, okay. And then the video, this is like the last part I got to, it talked about the next theory, which I found to be really funny, because if you're not if you don't have FNAF brain rot like I do, the next theory talked about sounds like absolute fucking insanity, but if you actually know the context of it, it's kind of not. Okay, so he talked about the William Afton is Toy Chica theory, which, yeah, if you don't understand the context of that sentence, sounds fucking absurd. But, hear me out, okay? This is what the theory's about, okay? So, in Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night, which was the 7th game, I think, if you don't count spin-offs, Scott decided he was going to be funny, and he put, like, anime-style cutscenes when you got a certain point threshold. And there were two of them. There was the one where Freddy went to go stop Foxy, who's evil, and Freddy would always lose because he's bad. Okay? What was that one? It's not the important one. The other one was Toy Chica's high school years. You know what that was about? It was basically, like, it was like a fucking Yandere Simulator parody, where Toy Chica would talk about the boys she liked, and then she'd fucking kill them. So, if you don't actually know about that, or if you haven't actually watched it for more than 5 seconds, the William Afton is Toy Chica theory may sound like absolute fucking bonkers, but if you actually watch the thing, in it, she talks about how the boys she likes, she's gonna, like, capture them, and then in the next one, because they're all the same fucking thing over and over again, because they're very lazy. They're like 5 images, like, put on top of each other, except that the dialogue's different. You see in her backpack a part of the guy, so she killed them. So if you actually watch the context of those scenes, it's about a murderer talking about how they're gonna kidnap and kill someone. So, you know, it being about, you know, the main series villain who goes around kidnapping and killing people, it's kind of like the only logical conclusion. Batter doesn't mean anything at all. This was also the same game where after being killed by a hippopotamus, he would go on 5-minute rants about how nothing means anything, so maybe it didn't mean anything at all. I don't know. So that was that, and I stopped watching the video at that point. Maybe I'll continue watching it later. Why am I still playing? How long have I been playing this? 15 minutes. Getting pretty good, I think. We're getting kind of far. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Oh. Doing it. Goddamn Bucky. Alright. I am over halfway through the upgrades now, which doesn't really mean anything when they keep getting more expensive. So that is not properly indicative of a progress bar. But if I get farther, it will be. Yeah, this was... God damn it, Bucky. Stop falling directly on the... Yep. Get so many heads, it doesn't matter when I get comboed. And I just lose all the heads immediately. Does it help me that much? Maybe this is the meta, where I just let her keep falling to the right, and then I keep going back again, but I don't go too far. Yes! I think this might be the balanced meta. You're not even holding your head. It's just kind of like floating above your hand. Which makes sense because they can fly, but if they can fly, why don't you just fly slightly higher? I don't know. I feel like some... Not necessarily games, just I know there's some franchises where like hover technology exists, but they're only like a certain level of hover technology. You can only slightly hover. Not hover anymore, they can't like fly, only slightly hover. You know, like R2-D2, Lego Star Wars, he can't fly, but he can float. You need him to go past the gaps, and he goes to the little thing, and then that opens the door. You have those in Lego Star Wars, you have the droid ones, you have the R2-D2 ones. He puts the stick into the thing, and then you have the C-3PO ones. C-3PO-like characters, they go and they move their hands, and they hit the buttons, not that one. Then you have the bounty hunter ones. That was because you had like the bounty hunter missions and Lego Ultimate. What was that game called? The Lego Star Wars with both the prequels and the originals. I forgot the word they used. That Lego Star Wars had like bounty hunter missions. And find the guys. I remember when I was a kid, I would like act those out in my head. I would pretend to be Boba Fett. Going to find the bounties. You know, he had those like multi-phase fights in Lego Star Wars. Pretend I was doing one of those. Or I also pretended to be Mario in Mario Galaxy. Throwing Koopa shells. And that one Magic Koopa character that was in Super Mario Galaxy that wasn't Kammy or Kamek. It was a completely different character who showed up in that game and I'm showing up again. But the Mario Galaxy games are like that, especially 2, where they just had a bunch of new different types of characters that never showed up again. You had like those wood guys who showed up in like a Mario Party 9 minigame. And never again. You know, at the end of Mario Galaxy, the universe blew up. This is one of the many reasons why the Mario canon makes absolutely no sense. And then was Super Mario Galaxy a continuation of that? Or not? Or was it something completely different? Who knows? Man, you know what were dumb? The Green Star missions in Mario Galaxy 2. I did those one time when I first played the game, and never again. And then because of that, I made it to the Ultimate Galaxy that had the comment star where you had to do the whole thing in one hit without getting hit, and I never did that. I tried, goddammit, I really tried, but nope, I could not do it. So I never completed the Galaxy 2. And a couple years ago, I say a couple years ago, I think this was like 2020 at that point. You know, 2020 was 5 years ago. I think I played Galaxy 2 again, and I just like got 120 stars, and they're not fucking with that green star stuff. That's not good. Not good stuff. Lazy design, frankly. Kind of filler, if you ask me. You know what's bullshit? Handheld pencil sharpeners. I've got like a whole pile of pencils on like over there. They're all pencils that I was trying to sharpen with my fucking handheld pencil sharpener, and I'd be at it for like at least a minute, and then the lead would just break, and I'd be back to square one again, and they're just like, alright, fuck this, and then I go to a pencil that wasn't completely broken. Now they're pretty much all just kind of broken at this point, so if I want pencils, I need to just sit down and sharpen all those pencils over there that are all like broken. I don't have an electric pencil sharpener, which from what I remember in school actually worked. Not like my handheld pencil sharpeners, a lot of time will work. Nope. My light in my room broke or went out, so right now I have like the lamp in the corner that's on, and I also have this little like desk light that's on, but not the big light. It broke this morning. Need to go see later if we still have light bulbs to replace, or need to go buy some more. Oh, another thing that was talked about in that FNAF video. Fuck! Like how it says press any key and I'm using my mouse for some reason. Okay. Man, there's so... I survived for how long there? There's still been this many upgrades. Why am I still going through with this? I don't know. I've gotten this far. God damn it. Monkey. Stop. Spawning on things. Right, yeah, in the FNAF video they also talked about the Frights fiction theory, which is my favorite theory, because it's basically a headcanon with no evidence. That's what makes it great. But, like, the funny thing I find about that theory is that, I remember someone made a video about why that theory's wrong. And, you know, the first half of the video is basically explaining that it's wrong because it has literally no evidence. It's basically a headcanon. But then the other half, like, tried to, like, debunk it. And they tried to debunk it by basically using the books. Which, you know, at the time, it was unknown whether the books are canon or not. And there were a shit ton of problems with assuming they were. But now it's with the new FNAF game, the books aren't canon at all. So ironically, Fazbear Frights being a thing is more likely than the books being canon, because the books being canon is impossible, whereas Fazbear Frights, despite having no evidence, still maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I have FNAF brain rot, Jesus Christ. You know, I've been a fan of the FNAFs longer than the Touhous, you know? I got FNAF when it came out. Sort of, a couple months later. I was too scared at first, but then I would get it. Because, you know, I'm American. I went to Chuck E. Cheese. I saw those fucking things. Did not like them. So, and they made a scary game about it. I was like, that's fucking scary. Still don't like robots. If you look at, like, those pictures of, like, fucking, of old fucked up animatronics, you don't want to look at that. It don't look right. Bonki's mission in this sadistic, twisted game. What is her goal? She obviously doesn't want to collect the candy because she's dodging it. So you have the question of, you know, when Sekibanki eats something, does it sort of just like teleport into her stomach? Because she doesn't have a neck. But does she have the part of the throat that's like not part of the neck, but not to your stomach yet? That's disgusting, but you know, I'm still talking about it. Does it just teleport there, or does it teleport right to the stomach? And then is it only like the main head eating something that does something, or is any of the heads eating something do that? Or some of the heads like you, Priest, where they just eat something and that's the whole body. I don't know. I've ran out of things to talk about. I thought my ramblings about FNAF would last longer. But I'm still playing this game. It's 30 minutes. Why am I still playing this game? I don't know. I've gone too far. I'm gonna get every upgrade. It's gonna happen. Do it, monkey. Me, you, and this horse we found on the side of the road. Headless Horseman. Do they celebrate Halloween in Skinsoxios? I don't think they do. They like have something to do with Christmas because Sega stole some shit dressed as Santa Claus once or something. I don't think they celebrate Halloween. Maybe they do. Do they even celebrate Halloween in Japan? I don't think they do. Well, maybe some parts do. I mean, it's an excuse to collect candy. No, I say that when I was a kid, like I'd collect the candy. How much of the candy would I end up eating? Not a lot. I've never exactly had much of a sweet tooth for like candy. I liked the chocolate candy, and that was about it. I still like candy. It just kind of tastes like sugar. Sugar. It's not healthy. Eat a lot of sugar, but better than fucking high fructose corn syrup, which is in all of our shit. Maybe this is too serious of a thing to talk about 30 minutes into the funny video game where I'm Sekibanki and I'm on a fucking horse dodging candy with my head. But yeah, that's the thing. One of the reasons why, like, there's such a... Like, Americans have a lot of health problems. And, like, a reason for that is because there's so much high fructose corn syrup in our shit, and high fructose corn syrup's really fucking bad for you. And the reason why it's in so much stuff is because of corn lobbies in the government. There you go. I've talked about politics 30 minutes into the funny video about Sekibanki throwing her heads and dodging candy because I've run out of things to talk about. Oh boy. How long does this attempt go? I wish there was a timer. Actually, I think there is a timer when you die. To actually look at it. It's not here. Speaking of politics, you know Matthew Patrick? You know he's in politics now? That's funny. Yeah. What was he trying to do again? He was trying to, like, have an actual, like, government voice for, like, the internet or something? I don't know, I didn't look into it that much, but it seems to, like, actually be trying to do something. Which, you know, is kinda cool. He used his notoriety from talking about bullshit on the internet to actually go and do something. So Sekibanki's theme. It's a pretty good theme. You know that? I got 2,234.3 meters. That's cool. Uh-huh. It's been half an hour. I'm gonna be here for an hour. But I've gone too far. I'm going to get all these upgrades for no reason other than... I mean, has anyone else done it? I don't know. I don't exactly look up other video before I play these games. I don't exactly look up and see if anyone else has played it yet, and if they did, how far they got. Did it. Did it. That tree bent? It is! It's a bent tree! Not supposed to look like that. Well, now this is... Oh, that one didn't hit you. Okay, that's good. Alright, god damn it. Nope. You're now in the predicament. I've been playing this game so long that anything I possibly could have talked about, I have now talked about, so when I play other games, if I have time to record any other games at this point, because I've been playing this one for an hour and a half, because I'm still here for some reason, I won't have anything to talk about. Apparently Fantasy Maiden Wars Complete Box is happening now. I thought that was like dead, but apparently it's come out of nowhere, and it's gonna be a thing at some point soon. So, you know, that's neat. I'm probably not going to play that, because if I did, I would be, with my upload schedule being what it is, even if I uploaded like every day, I'd be playing that game for like a year. I probably wouldn't be playing it every day. I'd be playing it at most once every other day, if that. And then it'd take me like 2 years to play that, because Fantasy Maiden Wars Complete Box is 4 games in one. And they're super robot word games. So if you don't know what that means, it means that after you get past like the first couple maps, maps start taking a ridiculously long amount of time. So it's like, how would I even structure that into a video? It'd take me like 3 parts to finish 1 chapter. And there are so many chapters. What I'm basically saying is that I'm not gonna play it. Even if it's a very good game, I'd recommend playing it when it comes out, but I'm not going to. Because then that'd be the entire channel for like 2 years. I don't know if I'll ever actually end up playing it at all. I mean, I've already seen a playthrough of it. It looks fun. But again, you know me, I don't play video games unless I'm doing it to do this. Which is why it's very convenient for me to make these jam videos, because these games are free. And I'm a cheapskate, so I don't need to, like, spend $5 to $60, however fucking much money a game I want to play ends up costing just to make videos every couple months whenever a series ends. I can do this, and these games don't cost money. We've reached the I'm getting 1 upgrade every attempt now. This is going really slowly. I'm gonna get there. Friend of the fish and the wolf. Not that wolf. Or that wolf. That wolf. Yeah, that one. The one that's hairy. It dresses like Little Red Riding Hood. Or does she? No, she doesn't. That's just fan art I've seen. Her actual outfit doesn't look like that. Kaguro. She's not my favorite character, but she is a dog. Wolf. Wolves are not dogs. Well, they are. Dogs are wolves. Wolves aren't dogs. Yes, they're the same thing. No, they're not. Kaguro, she's a wolf. Which means she's pretty cool. I like dog girls. That wasn't evident by the fact that Anna is my favorite character and Kyoko is like 4th. And Inoko, honestly, if I did this order again, she might be in the top 10 because, like, she's a dog. I think I just miss having a dog. I have a bunch of fucking cats. How did this happen? My mother's cat had a litter one day, and my mom was like, "Can you take one of the cats?" And I was like, "Sure," and that's how I got Little Miss Hell's Trap Cactin over there. And then the other two were kittens my dad found outside. And now we have them. There's also a tomcat outside that we feed. It's not even our cat, they're the neighbor's cat. But my dad started feeding them, so now we feed that cat now. It's surrounded by cats. I mean, the neighbor has a dog. Like, he'll come up to me when I'm outside sometimes and I'll pet him. You know, that's nice. The weenie dog once. He was really cute. He also had a really soft belly. We called him Rat. That wasn't his name. We called him Rat. I missed that dog. Why do you have a sword, exactly? Is that part of the... I assume that's part of the Headless Horseman get-up? I don't know. Headless Horseman, that's one of those things you see in children's media sometimes, but I can't really think of any examples off the top of my head. I don't know. I watched TV when I was a kid, but it kind of just like melded all together. It kind of melds all together in your memory at some point, like what was from this and what was from that. Man, you ever see those like Cartoon Network they weren't like advertisements, they were like little promos they had during the commercials, where they'd have like all the characters like hanging out, all the characters from the different shows hanging out in like some sort of like Cartoon Network city or something. I don't know, it was neat. You know, back when I watched Cartoon Network, they actually had like a lot of stuff to watch. I don't know what Cartoon Network is now. Is Cartoon Network even a thing anymore? I don't know. I assume it is. I know there's some like cartoon like networks that just don't exist anymore. Like I think after Disney Plus came out, I think Disney Channel's dead. I think it doesn't exist anymore. But I think Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon are still a thing. I don't know how Nickelodeon's still a thing, because even when I watched it, it was just the SpongeBob channel, and then there'd be something else every now and then. I'm pretty sure that's still what it is. That's what it's been for 20 years. It's just 90% SpongeBob and sometimes something else. It's like, I like SpongeBob and all, but like, how do you survive off of that and nothing else? I don't know. Yeah, when I watched Cartoon Network, they had just a bunch of stuff to watch, but that didn't matter because 50% of the time they just had fucking Johnny Test on. I was so sick of Johnny Test, but it just came on all the time. And the thing about Johnny Test is, it certainly wasn't a good show, no, but like, it wasn't so fucking awful to where I forced myself to stop watching TV and do something else. So I just watched a bunch of mediocre Johnny Test all the time, because it was always on. You know the guy who voices Johnny Test also voices like Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars? He voices a lot of people. Star Wars and Clone Wars. That was a show that I liked, and I think is good. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to Star Wars anymore, because I don't fucking care. But whenever I like vaguely look at what's going on in the Star Wars sphere, apparently like, I don't know, Star Wars and Clone Wars used to be one of those like pretty universally loved things, but now where some people talk about it, it was like, maybe it wasn't that good, because, you know, it was made by Dave Filoni, and people don't like Dave Filoni anymore, apparently. I mean, I say apparently, I've heard some of the reasons why, and it basically boils down to that guy doesn't really respect any sort of continuity and just kind of makes shit up when he wants to. I remember that being a thing in The Bad Batch, which is the last Star Wars thing I watched, where it was like, they showed what happened to Kanan. Is that his name? He was the guy from Star Wars Rebels. The guy that went blind and then died, spoilers. Like in The Bad Batch, they literally changed his backstory from what it was established to be in an already written comic. It just got retconned because why not? They feel like writing something different. And I can get how that can be kind of frustrating. To be like a fan of something and read the expanded material only for it to get retconned later. And that was the thing with Legends, it was already established, it was already, like, kind of known with Legends that, like, they were, like, Legends. What's called Legends may or may not have been true. So, like, they had stories in it, but you didn't, like, not every writer had to specifically cater to what happened in Legends. And George Lucas was basically like, okay, if I say something that contradicts this stuff, I created the thing, my word oversees it. And now it's not like that anymore, because when Disney bought Star Wars, they were like, okay, there's going to be an established canon. All of our books and movies and stuff are going to be connected, and they're not going to contradict each other. And then they did. So, you know. There you go. I don't know. I didn't watch that Ahsoka TV show, so I heard it was bad. I think we have Disney Plus right now. I think my dad bought it for some reason. Because it was like on sale or something. Fuck no. I haven't watched it because the ads on Disney Plus are so fucking awful that it's legitimately not worth it. I complain about ads on YouTube, but fucking ads on streaming services is like, oh boy, do you enjoying the show? I hope you enjoy watching this bullshit for like 3 minutes. Like, fuck you. Man, if you're a company that advertises on YouTube and you purposely make 15-second unskippable ads, I hope your product fails. Including you, Nintendo. Because it's like, you have to do that on purpose. Because there's an option on YouTube. I mean, I'm not going to claim I know how this works, but I assume you have the option of choosing either a 15-second skippable ad, because those exist, or a 15-second unskippable ad. You do the latter, fuck you. Because, like, there's a thing about 15-second unskippable ads. They're so long that a lot of the time it's just better to reload the video to hope you get a 5-second ad instead. And a lot of the time that's what I'll do. But the times you can't do that are the times when, like, you click a video and, like, you're recommended or something, and then it gives you one, and you can't close the video because it's, like, not in your history yet or anything, so if you close the video, it's just kind of gone. And what, are you going to use YouTube's search function to find it? Have you tried to search something on YouTube in the past, like, year or something? It's dog shit. It'll be like, it'll give you like 2 videos what you're looking for, and then it was like, here you go, here's recommended stuff that we want to give you, because when you go on your search tab, that obviously means you want to go on your recommended tab, right? Yep, here's some shit that we think you like, here's some things that's completely unrelated to what you just searched. It's just like, why? Just the fact that Google in general, ever since they added their AI bullshit, is just worse. Like, you can't find things as well as you used to be able to. I like when because I don't use, like Google that much recently. Mainly because I haven't been in school for like a month and a half. But I like when I'll just, like, I can't even afford one upgrade anymore. There's still like 8 of these? Why am I still playing this game? There's gonna be an hour-and-a-half long video of me doing the same thing over and over again, just because I refuse to stop. Because I might be able to get all the upgrades. You never know. 9 heads. 9 heads. Sure, 9 Journos. Coming soon. Yeah. I know there's the whole, like, just use ad blocker thing, but here's the thing. I barely use YouTube on my computer at all. I use it for basically the purposes of making videos, where I'll, like, look up the song I'm about to upload the cover of so I can put it in the description. That's like 90% of me using YouTube on my computer. Other than that, I use YouTube on my phone so I can, like, listen to it while I'm, like, doing something else. And I'm not trusting an anti-ad service. I'm not downloading an ad blocker app on my phone. I don't trust that shit. You know, unless personal information's on your phone, you think I'm gonna just download something on that, just willy-nilly? No. So I'll just see and deal with YouTube's bullshit ads, which get worse. They get worse. And they'll continue to get worse because YouTube has no competition. That's just the way it is. Edit. But yeah, I'll look up the jam I'm trying to download a game from, and instead of it just being the first option for me to click being the jam, it'll sometimes be like, here's an AI generated summary of the thing you just searched up, because that's what I asked for. Yep. Is there a way to turn that off? I don't know, I haven't looked into it. Let's Google. You get your AI generated summary, followed by like 3 to 4 paid for placements on the Google search, because that's a thing. You just have people pay to be the top search result. And then after that, maybe at the bottom of the first page, at the top of the second page, you'll actually find what you're looking for. Maybe. Sekibanki's theme's pretty good, right? I've been listening to it for 45 minutes. If I ever do 14 soundtracks, it's probably one of the tracks I'd be more looking forward to playing. 14 soundtrack is weird. It's not one of the soundtracks I think of as like being my favorite, but it has some good stuff in there. Got Sukuna's theme, which is really good. Like, really good. Honestly might be like top 3 tracks in the entire series. I don't know why Sukuna's theme is so good, but it is. So it's a really weird character to give an amazing theme to. Because Sukuna's a really fucking weird character. Like, I am an inchling. I'm not the inchling, though. Ushin, whatever the fuck the guy's name is. I'm not that guy, I'm a descendant of him. Because that's the thing with Touhou, it's like, sometimes this character will directly be this person, and sometimes they'll just be kind of related to them. And I don't know why Zun sometimes just chooses one instead of the other. Sukuna, who I guess lived alone in a castle by herself for X number of years. One day Seija showed up and was like, you wanna do a revolution? And she was like, sure, and then they did. And then at some point Seija was like, by the way, I lied. And Sukuna was like, damn, and they weren't friends for a while. Because that was very much shown in 14.5. What was the possible scorecard? 14.3? I don't remember. Fucking numbers. 0.3s, 0.5s, 0.8s. 0.2, 0.1, why 0.3, 0.5, 0.8, huh? Why those numbers, huh? Is it just because they're like the halfway points between 5, except... Not really? I mean, I guess doing 14.25 would be a bit too weird, huh? 14.2.5. But yeah. They were not friends in that game. Sukuna was like, Seija, can you stop being a dickhead? And Seija's like, no, I can't, because something, I'm a monojaku, which means I'm literally unable to not be an asshole, because if I'm not an asshole, I cease to exist or something. That's how it works. Oh, right, I don't fucking care. So she keeps being a dickhead, and then they're not friends. And then 14.5 and 15.5 happened. Sukuna was in that game. I don't remember a damn thing she said, but apparently she was replaced by her dream self at some point, which may or may not mean anything. Maybe that drastically changed her personality, or maybe it didn't. I don't know. But then in the Sumerecto book, it starts with Sukuna being friendly with Seija again, which came the fuck out of nowhere. And that's just what it is now. Is in they were shitheads and they ruined a festival or something. Very, very exciting plot of that book. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the Grimoire of Versa was exactly that exciting to read. I don't even know why I read that, to be honest. It was like a phase where I was reading through the written works because it existed. And I read all of it. And I don't remember. And I
99% of, like, most of it. I don't remember a damn thing that was said before Marissa. It was Marissa going, this is spell card, this is some trivia about spell card, I think spell card cool, I will use, and then she never used it. That's the thing about Marissa. It's kind of a bit of a missed opportunity of a thing, isn't it? Where Marissa has multiple books about all these spell cards she's gonna use, and I don't think she ever does. Does she? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she's been using the same shit for 20 years. Like, she stole Patchley's non-directional laser, and she stole Master Spark, and she's been trucking with that for the whole time. Despite having multiple books about how she's gonna use something else. Nope, she's just kind of been Marissa the whole time. She's still shooting lasers and missiles people. 10 more minutes, and I've been here for an hour. Again, I didn't really feel the pressure to, like, record a bunch of stuff, because I have at least, like, 4 days of this in advance, so I'm playing this game for an hour, at least, whereas if I was running low on recordings, I would have played this for, like, 5 minutes. I was honestly expecting to play this for, like, 5 minutes, but I'm still here, for some reason. Yeah, Sukuna. Weird-ass character. Very much felt like there was no real plan with her, and just stuff kind of happened to her as the series went on, which I guess happens for most characters, but for her it's just kind of obvious, where it's like, what are we doing here? I don't know. Where she's at now, I don't think she's done anything since that book. I think I've talked about before, I don't like that book very much. But it's also one of the recent ones, so it's one of the ones I can actually remember. So it's ones I can actually remember to point out, like, versus with, like, the earlier, like, Grimoire books. And, like, the Aki books, too. I don't remember anything about the Aki books, other than, like, the stuff that gets mentioned a lot in, like, other material. Yeah, like, if there's, like, information in those books that nobody talks about, I don't remember them. I read those, like, 5 years ago. Dead. Yeah, Grimoire Suireko. Yeah, that was the book where like Okina showed up, and then she talked to Yukari, and they said nothing of substance. I was like, man, wow, glad I read this. I mean, I might as well talk shit about Okina. Got nothing else better to do. It's quite impressive how often Okina showed up and stuff. She's still can't speak sentences. He's still like showing up and stuff. I don't think so. I think Zanbu became the next like Okina character or whatever. So you know, Okina was showing up with a bunch of stuff. Zun might have moved on at this point, which no good riddance. But yeah, Okina showed up with a bunch of stuff, and she said a whole nothing of value, didn't she? This isn't really one of the reasons I dislike her, but it's quite noticeable how this character doesn't really say anything remotely interesting. Maybe I'd like her even a slightly bit if she ever said anything worth listening to. Instead she just goes, I'm Okina, I'm really cool, I could go through a whole Moana song about how I'm the god of everything. And anyway, I'm here now, and my plans have come to fruition. What are those plans? Oh, I'm gonna show up at the end of a fairy manga and beat up some fairies. That was cool. Well, congratulations, you beat up fairies, Okina. Good job. You did it. I mean, people say that her dancers are nothing characters, which they are. They have basically no personality or backstory whatsoever, other than they were basically turned into Okina's servants. May or may not have been against their will, who knows? But you know, they have boots on their heads. That's memorable. I mean, Okina's in a chair. I guess it's kind of memorable. But here's the thing about Okina: she looks like 10 other characters. So you know. At least the dancers at least look different. Their theme's better than any of Okina's themes. I don't know. I don't like Okina's final boss theme. It's like it's down there. It's one of like the most meh final boss themes. And the extra stage theme is just kept up by the fact that the climax is really good. You know, you know that's a really good climax. Honestly, one of the best in the series, but it's like the rest of the track just kind of exists, you know? I don't know. I guess it's kind of interesting to compare that to Last Mode, which is like, in my opinion, the best thing since ever written. Because, like, the climax of that theme is basically perfect, but the rest of the theme is still pretty good. When you compare that to Okina's theme, where I think that the climax of that theme is pretty good, but the rest of the theme just kind of exists. It's kind of just a build-up, which I guess Last Remote's also a build-up, but it's a lot better of a build-up. This is just my opinion, man, about music, miracles, and magic, which is all we've ever known. Prevents us to see what really goes on, but I've seen miracles every day, and in every way. I was talking about something, right? Until I started. Until I started my, you know, obligatory Okina rant. It's okay. Okina acts as a hate magnet. It's her job. Because I honestly don't really hate any other character besides Okina. She kind of just gets all the hate from me. Like, I dislike the canon versions of quite a few characters, honestly, but like usually the shittier characters don't act that way in most material, so like they're fine. But Okina, you know, I just don't like her. I don't like her face. I don't like her voice. It doesn't exist. Because no fellow character has a canonical voice. How long has this one been going? Pretty good, I think. $19.29. All drink stone wine. Johnny comes marching home. That they will. 1865. John Wilkes Booth took Abraham Lincoln's life. And all drinks stone wine. Johnny comes marching home. Da 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 da. My ability to come up with random bullshit to talk about has apparently run out now. I mean, it's almost been an hour. I wonder how loud this keyboard's going to come out in the recording. Who knows? Man, it's gonna be great when I watch this recording again and find out the music was too loud the whole time. Because it doesn't sound that loud to me, but that doesn't matter. I don't know, there's nothing but music, so hopefully I can still be heard. Because normally, sound effects are normally the bigger issue in comparison to music. So, and there's no sound effects here. There's not a boing sound every time Sekibanki's head jumps. Not a coil head. That was a thing, right? From the game? What is that game called? It's Horror Among Us. No. I can't remember the name. Lethal Company, that was the name. Big game at some point, I think. Still big? I don't know. Oh, internet trends. Most of the time, it's time to do. Well, we're almost reaching an hour. This game, I downloaded this game. Alright. Alright, we've reached the final 4. An hour in. How much longer will it take me to get the final 4 upgrades? I don't know! Who knows? Find out someday. Can't believe I'm playing this. Why am I still playing this? Yeah, when I first tried to start the game, it like wouldn't for like a good minute. It was kind of concerning. And then it started, and then I did my test recording and closed the game again, and then when I tried to open it again, it was fine. I had the microphone off when I started the recording because like the intro was really quick, so I wanted to make sure it would be cut. What was the story again? I don't know. Sekibanki is practicing Headless Horseman riding because she's a Dulamon, but not really. She's a Roku, but not really. She's apparently like a combination of the two. I don't fucking know. I understand jack shit about Japanese mythology. I don't. A funny contrast, I think, between me and some other people. Like, well, I got into Touhou, and then I became so interested in Japanese mythology and culture and stuff, and I'm just like, if it's in Touhou and I think it's neat, then that's neat. I don't want to read a book about Japanese culture anytime soon, though. I'm good. I mean, Japanese history is neat, though. It's a very interesting country in regards to like the rest of the world. It had a very unique situation because it was a very isolated country because it's an island, and because of that, their history developed in a different way than a lot of other countries did. A lot of other countries that neighbored other countries and thus had to deal with wars and trading and all the other things. Japan was very isolated. And because of that, you know, the way their culture developed, you know, they were very stable. They had a very stable period where, you know, they didn't really have much war or disability, but because of that, that was kept up through like very strict social order and stuff. And, you know, that's, and I don't want to say anything potentially like offensive here, but, you know, the Japanese culture is the way it is, and a lot of that has to do with how it was historically, the way their nation developed. I don't know. I think that's interesting. I guess. But yeah, the Touhou was like, this thing is based on Japanese mythology. I'm like, that's neat. You use that to make neat thing in series, but that doesn't necessarily mean I care about the lore that you based it on. Sometimes I do, if I happen to really like the thing it was based on. Like, I don't know much about Prince Shotoku, but I don't know, from the little I've learned about Touhou, it seemed like something I could potentially be interested in reading more about. Because, you know, it's a real person. A real person who had a lot of things that weren't true written about them, but, you know, they were a real person. And that's neat, because then you could potentially learn actual history while reading your Touhou lore. I used to read history. I was like in middle school. I read a lot of history. I kind of just stopped. I don't know why. Maybe I should get back into it. Be a thing, I'll just research history, and then when I commentate about things in these random ass videos and I have nothing else to talk about, I just randomly start talking about something I learned while researching history. Because history is neat, because history is real. You know, fiction is neat at all, but there is something, you know, when you hear a story and it's like, yep, this actually happened. There's a real person who did these things, not just some fictional character that someone came up with. How long have I been going with this one? I think I've been going pretty good. I'm gonna be able to... How many upgrades am I gonna be able to get after this one? What random shit have I said during this video? A lot. Because there's literally nothing going on, so there is nothing but the random bullshit I decided to come up with. I don't know. I haven't said anything bad, have I? I don't know. I'm not going back for an hour to watch this, so, yeah. Well, I mean, I am. I always go back and watch my old videos, but I'm doing it... But I do that while I upload it. So if I find out at minute 47 out of an hour and 30 minutes that I said something that could be potentially controversial, oh well. What did I talk about earlier? I talked about politics, right? I talked about the corn lobby in the United States government, and that's why there's so much fucking high fructose corn syrup in our shit that's killing our arteries. That, yeah. Then I talked about Japanese history for a bit. Da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do. But yeah, when Zone actually does a good job at incorporating the like mythology he uses in his series in a way that makes me actually care, you know, sometimes that might actually make me be semi-interested in the thing it's based on. But sometimes he'll be like, here's a bunch of lore for a character that's really uninteresting, so I don't care at all. God, Renegade. I haven't read that in like 5 years, but like, people talk about how good that book is, and all I remember is, that was the book with Moko's backstory, right? That's what happened in that? That was the good part, because everything else was just about things I didn't care about. Like, ooh, it gave more context to Silent Sinner and Blue, that cinematic masterpiece, that. Yep, gave more context to that story. That's really interesting. And part of it was literally just like the legend about that guy that went fishing once and ended up on the lunar capital, and then he wanted to go back, and then he came back and died because there was a bunch of time that passed. I'm pretty sure that was an entire chapter in that. It's like, okay. Since this is Lunarian lore, I don't care. I care about any of the lore of any of Lunarians because you failed to make it in any way interesting for me to actually care about. And you did. I've been at this attempt for a while, right? Haven't died. Still going? Am I gonna be able to afford everything at this rate? Am I just gonna stop after I get all the upgrades? Or am I gonna go through one last hurrah to show all the upgrades and play for like 20 minutes? I think the last 20 minutes is 20. Even with all the upgrades I want. Do you know that Sekibanki is friends with Kogasa because they stood together in the background of a panel in a manga once? And that's more than a lot of parents get, so, you know. So, you know, Sekibanki's heads may or may not be created with magic. What about the bows? You think she has to, like, make a new bow every single head she makes? She also magically create that. Maybe that's why Touhou characters only wear like one article of clothing, is that they're all made with magic. And it's hard to make to create more than one style of clothes with magic, so they all just make their one magical set of clothes. They use magic to clean it every night. So their clothes are clean, but they're clean and they prepare it, but it's still the same article of clothing every single time. You wear the same article of clothing. Okay, I died. 5666.33. That did one. Are you kidding me? Never mind, it's gonna be a 2-hour video. I lasted how long through that? And I afforded one upgrade. I'm too far in now. I've been doing this for too long, I'm getting every upgrade. Yeah, if you wear the same article of clothing forever, does the yokai live forever, I think, until they don't. Eventually every single individual thread of that piece of clothing is going to be damaged and has to be replaced. So eventually, the original article of clothing is going to be completely replaced with a new thread. So at what point is it the same clothing, and at what point is it a different piece of clothing? Clothing of Theseus. And the series throws around the phrase immortal sometimes, so it makes me forget which characters are actually like immortal and just like they don't age immortal, which is also really confusing because there's so many characters that are such long-lived species they basically don't age anyway. So it's like, yeah, this character is immortal, but not in the literally immortal, not in the Kaguya Eren Moko sense where they will outlive the heat death of the universe. No, just the they don't age type immortal. Okay, well that's not a whole lot different in your series where like these yokai age so slowly that they basically don't age at all. And then you have fairies, which I don't think age at all. Are they immortal? I don't know. I don't think the fairies get older. I think they look like fucking little munchkins their entire existence. I don't know. Like I'm saying this because like Inoko is immortal, right? But she's not the strength of Horai elixir immortal. She's the I ate the liver of Zanbu, so that means I don't age or something type of immortal. Because Zanbu's not immortal, so why would eating her? Zanbu's not immortal, so Inoko eating her liver wouldn't make her immortal, right? I don't know. Maybe it does. Get it? How about that weather? It is currently really fucking hot, as it normally is. Not a rainy day. It's only slightly cooler on rainy days, as you know, the sun be blocked. That'd not be the case right now. That's why I always have that damn fan, which, man, that damn fan really does fuck up the recording sometimes, but I would die if I didn't have it on, so there's that. Yeah, I finished recording Undertale Yellow yesterday. Yeah, the fan. God, the fucking fan. It was definitely there in places where I wish it wasn't, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? Because, like, I need to voice the cutscenes, right? But then there are moments of silence where there's no music in between the cutscenes, and that's when the fucking fan raises its head, and it's like, I can't just, like, time everything with turning the microphone off to know, okay, there's gonna be a moment of silence here, and then I need to start talking there. I can't do that. So it's just away with my shitty microphone, and then the fan that has to be on. There's just gonna be moments where parts of the recording are just awful. I wish it wasn't so. I'll do about it. I'm spending 3 digits on a microphone that potentially doesn't have these problems. I assume those Yeti microphones is that's the good shit people get, right? Fucking triple-digit Yeti microphones. Those just block everything, right? You wouldn't hear a fan that's 20 feet away. Is that inside of the room? And I guess I could get like a not as loud fan, but like the fan's loud because it's good. When a fan is good, it's gonna be loud because it's going fast. When it's gonna go fast, it's gonna be loud. Like, I imagine a fan that was both really good at keeping it cool but wasn't loud. I imagine that'd be pretty expensive. I don't know. Yeah, I finished Undertale Yellow, and I looked at the ending a bit. Yeah, the fan kind of ruined some shit, but it's like, I can't do anything about that. Oh well, which wasn't so. Also, the video ended completely abruptly because the game just closed at the end. So yeah, I didn't do an outro because I was expecting the game to like go back to the title screen or something, and it just didn't. It just closed. I did check what happens in Undertale Yellow when you start the game again. Basically, Flowey shows up. He's like, alright, should I reset the game? Because in that game's continuity, Flowey's the one that resets the game because Clover doesn't have enough determination, I guess. And there's like a choice where it's like, do you want to start the game? Do you want Flowey to reset or not? And if you choose no, which I did, the game closes again. So that's where I'm at. I'm an Undertale purist right now. They do a pacifist route, and they never play the game again. That's what I'm currently doing for Undertale Yellow. Because I don't want to play the whole game again. I'll at some point look at what the other endings are, but I haven't done that yet. Mainly because I don't really know about that, because it's not like just the ending's going to change, it's going to be like the majority of the game. So it's like, what do I don't really want to watch a whole playthrough of the whole game again. But I don't think there are videos exist where it's like, here's all of the exact points where the neutral route and the genocide route differ. So I'm just going to have to figure out how to watch that. We don't want to talk too many spoilers, in case someone watching this doesn't know, but man, Undertale Yellow's story, it kind of went places at the end that I wasn't really expecting. Because that was the thing about that game, it was kind of just like, most of it was kind of your usual Undertale affair, where, you know, there was some more like deeper stuff going on in the background, but a lot of it was just kind of silly adventures. But at the end, the game was like, nope, we're doing this, and they did it. Oh no. I pressed the wrong button there. Why did I press Z? I've been playing this game for over an hour and 15 minutes, and I pressed the wrong button. Why is my hand even over that? My finger doesn't even. I can have one finger on this keyboard, or one left hand. Two fingers for the arrows, one finger for space. That's all you need. Well, you've been looking at Sekibanki for over an hour now. Has that subconsciously made you like the character of Sekibanki more? When she's invaded your brain space, you will dream about her tonight. Weird. Have I ever had a dream with Sekibanki in it? I don't know. I haven't wrote down a dream in a while. You know, in FNAF, I'm talking about FNAF again, full circle, in over an hour, you have an ultimate customite. Every time Withered Bonnie would kill you, he'd make a joke, he'd make a face joke, because he has no face. Just imagine a version of that, an ultimate customite with Touhou's, but every time Sekibanki kills you, she makes a joke about heads. I really got ahead of you, huh? Cuts your head off, and she's like, man, you really don't got a good head on your shoulders anymore, do ya? You'll never get ahead in life playing like that, kid. Now I'm gonna get you. Just give me a second, I gotta head that way. My fan interpretation of Sekibanki, she makes head jokes all the time. It really annoys the fuck out of her friends. It's a revenge for constantly being a third wheel for the wolf and the fish. Maybe that might be. I think that might be a reason why like people leaned in so heavily to Sekibanki being friends with Kogasa, because like whenever she's shown as being friends with the other two, she very much is just like the third one there a lot of the time, isn't she? Whereas when she's friends with Kogasa, there's only the two of them. What deep philosophical discussions do you think a Dulahan and an Umbrella have on a daily basis? Sekibanki. I am quite concerned about the recent trends in the economy. Do not worry, Kogasa. I have changed our investments accordingly. Splendid. Hour and 20 minutes. I mean, the last time something like this happened, where I played a game for far longer than I should have, it was the Nemino game, and that was out of pure spite. I was not having fun with that game, and I was doing it out of pure spite. I'm having fun with this because it just kind of gives me an excuse to talk about bullshit for an hour, while not really having to pay too much attention to what's happening. I haven't really been able to do that since, I don't know. This is the thing with these jam games, is sometimes, especially the visual novels, I can do nothing but just read what's happening on in the game. And the other times, there's nothing for me to do other than try to figure out things to talk about. It kind of makes it hard for me to plan ahead to what to do. Cause like, yeah, I may need to figure out a bunch of things to talk about, or I may not need to find anything to talk about at all. I don't know. These games are picked at random. I mean, I say that, I don't think I'm going to pick the next game at random. This was number 6. When random chose 6, I thought for sure 6 had already been picked, but apparently it hasn't. It was this one. And the one directly after this is 7. It's Kane's Suck Adventure. I kind of want to play that one, but I think I will. I think I remember what that one is. If I even have time at this point. I'm probably gonna get interrupted. What time is it? I can't check. It's 12. I don't know. A couple days ago, I got interrupted at like 1. That aborted what up there? What? Oh my god. Why have I not been doing better horse speed first? That directly correlates to points. What the fuck is wrong with me? Alright, we're still going. I mean, I don't want to say I'm the first person who's made a video playing this game long enough to get all the upgrades, because that might be a completely false statement. What if I knew it wasn't a completely false statement? Then I would say that, but I don't know that it is not a completely false statement. So I cannot say it. Oh, you can like hold the button. That's what it's been doing the whole time. I've just kind of been pressing the button, so that jump upgrade I've been getting has been doing literally nothing because I haven't been using it. And now that it's there, that's probably not good, because now I'm going to want to use it, whereas I've kind of been in the same rhythm for like an hour and 20 minutes. And now the fact that I could change that is going to screw up the rhythm. Don't want to do that. The war. 1812. I'll teach you a lot about that one. Pretty sure it's because we lost it. Did it. We had the French and Indian War, which, well, I remember my history correct, I think that was like a bleed over of a different European war that was happening at the same time. That was called something else. I don't know. Blame Canada. Because if we don't blame Canada, then we'd have to blame ourselves. So Kyle, his brother, is Canadian. That's why he looks like all the other Canadians in South Park. When was the last time I watched South Park? I don't know. I was younger than I should have been watching South Park was the last time I watched South Park. remember the Game of Thrones arc they based Stick of Truth on? Stick of Truth. That was a good game. Because it was, for some reason, very heavily inspired by Paper Mario. So if you're like a Paper Mario fan, unironically try South Park Stick of Truth. It's like, it's a pretty decent, like, spiritual successor. It was like the closest the series had to that after Paper Mario 2 until like Puzzle Papers came out. But I haven't played that game, so can't really say much about that. And then, you know, they made Paper Mario 2 remake. Still kind of surprised they did that, to be honest. Kind of makes me wonder what the hell was going on at that particular branch of Nintendo's. Because they were, like, really adamant with that series for a while, at just refusing to do something with that series that made any basic common sense. Because Sticker Star was a disaster of a video game. And then they had Color Splash, which from what I know is basically a fantastic game in every single aspect except for the fact that they decided to use the same awful combat system from Sticker Star. And the combat system is kind of the most important part of your Paper Mario game. So even if everything else is great, I don't want to play it because you used the same combat system as Sticker Star. Why did you do that? Probably because they started development. Did they start development before, like how long did it take them to get the feedback for Sticker Star to realize that it was not a good idea and they should change their course? I don't know. Anyway, they had Origami King, which looked like a fine game for the most part, but it kind of seemed to have a thing going where it's like its boss fights seemed pretty neat, but its random encounter system was completely and utterly pointless. And they also, like, did this weird thing with partners where it's like, yeah, they're partners, they do nothing in battle, and they're only there for a little bit. I don't know, they had like some, they wanted to go back, but at the same time they didn't want to commit to it, so they just kind of like, it's here, sort of. I don't know, that is to say, I have no idea what the hell they're doing with that series anymore, because now they just went and remade the older game, so it's like, are they gonna go back? Is Paper Mario back, boys? Is Paper Mario, next Paper Mario is gonna be 1000 Year Door 2? Electric Boogaloo? Gonna go fight the Shadow King this time? That was a fanfiction I read back when I was like a lot younger and read fanfiction for some reason. It was a Paper Mario fanfiction. I don't remember what it's called. It was a sequel to the 1000 Year Door, where the characters from the 1000 Year Door, they went to some island or something. I don't remember 99% of what happened, but at the end, the Shadow King showed up. Get it? Because the Shadow Queen, so the Shadow Queen is the Shadow King too, or something. I assume so. Explain what the hell the Shadow Sirens are. The Shadow Sirens, the children of the Shadow Queen, or are they just like the same species and just they're extinct except for like the 4 of them? I don't know. I don't know, there's a bunch of unanswered questions about the Shadow Sirens and the Shadow Queen and what the hell they are and how they work. What the hell's going on with like their weird tail bodies? Or at some points in the 1000 Year Door when you're in with Vivian and you're like on a higher platform and she's not standing on the platform, she'll just have her like shadow tail grow like 10 feet. So she can still stand next to you, but still be connected to the floor. It's really weird. Alright, so we're reaching an hour and a half here. Really been playing this game that long, I don't know why. Look how confused Sekibanki is in the top left corner. She doesn't know why I'm still playing this game either. How many games have I given up on in like 20 minutes because I couldn't get that far, and I was just like, all right, I give up. And then I'm stuck, and I'm still playing this game, which is basically like, how fast is the background loop? This is a very, very short game with not a whole lot to it, and I'm still playing it after an hour and a half because I just want to get all the upgrades for some reason. Just because I started, and I will finish. Who knows why? That horse has got a horn. Is it a unicorn, or is it like a fake horn? The weird thing about that fucking horse show, huh? It's like there are different races of the horses. You have the Pegasus, who can fly and control the weather and shit. And then you have the unicorns, who literally have magic. And then you have normal-ass horses. It's like, man, really didn't balance out those three races, did you? I don't know. Was there some advantage to being a normal horse in that universe? If there was, I don't think it's balanced out the fact that you couldn't fly or use fucking magic. Can I do an impression of Applejack? Probably not. I mean, I've done my ridiculously stereotypical Southern accent in many different forms, many different ways, and it's never sounded anything like Applejack, so probably not. Now you just wait a darn minute, 2 minutes. God damn it, Apple Bloom. I leave 5 minutes, and you and your friends have already caused the second coming. What am I supposed to do with you? Hey, you wanna hear a curse comparison? Remember the 3 kids from that show? There was there's a group of 3 of them. There was Applejack's sister, and then Rarity's sister, and then the orange one. She wasn't Rainbow Dash's sister, right? She was the weird one who wasn't someone's sister for some reason. Yeah, there's the 3 of those. They were like a group of characters. They existed. Yeah. They were the 3 fairies of that show. There's your cursed comparison. I've been staring at a horse for an hour and a half. Of course I'm gonna start talking about fucking horses. Not fucking horses. Why do I even open my mouth sometimes? I don't know. Maybe I should just stop. I'm not saying the F word anymore. Not anymore. For the rest of today, for the rest of the recording, I'm not saying it anymore. You will know I've started a recording session because I'll say the F word again. Because I keep doing this. I did it last recording session. I keep saying it, and I keep saying it in ways that make me sound like I'm having sex with something. It's not what I mean. It's not what I mean. I use that word. It's a word used for many different things. Anyway, I've been staring at a horse for an hour and a half. That's why I'm talking about a horse. The horse show. That's a thing now, right? Because now there's a different horse show that's popular. It's the one about the anime horse girls. Because a gacha game came out. And man, I hear a lot of people complain about gacha games, and it becomes very apparent that they're the minority of people, because every time a gacha game comes out, it sometimes just makes the world implode, apparently. The horse game, gacha game, has become a cultural phenomenon. I mean, I haven't played that game, but what is that game? Is it literal horse race? Is it literal just horse bets? Do you just get a PNG in your slot machine, and then you bet on it? You get money. Here's my idea for my anime IP. It's cockfighting, but anime girls. Ignore the fact that that wouldn't make sense. And we'll just sugarcoat it by having the chickens not actually kill each other. Because that's what they do. That's why cockfighting is a thing. Because male chickens kill each other in order to have the right to all the female chickens. Because nature be fucked up sometimes. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll have chicken girls and they'll fight each other. They won't kill each other because that'll be too dark. And that'll be the show. That probably wouldn't work. Chicken girls aren't popular enough for that. Can't think of a single chicken girl not named Kojako. But, you know, it probably has to do with more the fact that I don't watch anime. So I don't know of any chicken girls that would exist in anything other than Touhou. Scratch. Grounder. Need you to help me out. If you bring me victory, shine your treads. But only Grounder has treads. Scratch has little chicken feet. Is Scratch? I don't know, is this shared lore in the, because Sonic lore is a fucking absolute nonsense. But in like the lore of the, because the lore of the games, at least in the first couple of games, Badniks are powered by, Badniks are the robots that Dr. Eggman uses. They're powered by, like, animals. Because somehow Dr. Robotnik has managed to turn kinetic energy from animals into, like, the most, like, energy efficient energy, somehow. Through his super smart Eggman brain. So yeah, in Sonic games, they're powered by animals. So when you kill a Badnik, it saves the animal. So is that the same way it works in the TV show? And if so, is Scratch powered by a chicken? I don't know. I remember I watched like a fan animation that was like gave like a backstory to Eggman. And I remember at one point it was like the way Eggman managed to get so much money to buy all his robots is he managed to make an AI that could, with 100% accuracy, predict the stock market. And because of that, he basically made unlimited money. And it's like, man, it's not how that works. But it's a fan animation of a video game, so whatever. Could you imagine if someone actually did that? You can't do that, but you know, imagine someone could. Many people have tried to do that. Well, if you look at this chart, it's shown that over the past, whenever 5 months of this happens, that means that this will happen. So that means now this happens, that means with 100% guarantee that the market will go this way. These markets are based entirely on trends and absolutely nothing based on outside factors at all. Nope. You just follow this line. It'll always be like this. I'm making fun of market analysts. I've been playing this fucking game so long that I've ran out of so many things to talk about that I'm making fun of market analysts. What am I doing with my life? I don't know. A human. A monster. A prince from the north. So like those pictures that show up when the legend is told by Rouse at the beginning of the game, like, those aren't diegetic, are they? They're purely shown for the audience, I assume. Or did, like, because Rouse can't draw for shit. You can see it, you can see at one of his actual drawings that he draws like a child. So he couldn't actually, like, draw the illustrations that were shown in there, so like I assume none of the characters actually saw that. That's just representation to be honest. What I'm basically saying here is, you know, Susie is shown to be the monster in that cutscene, but that cutscene may not be real. It may just be for the sake of the audience. So there's your Susie isn't actually part of the prophecy theory, which is actually very relevant now because it has evidence. I'm a Delta Road. An hour and 40 minutes in. How long has this attempt been? If I can't afford the last 2 upgrades after I've been going this long, I need to stop in 20 minutes. The recording's gonna end. I can't have that happen. Like, you know, for some reason when I put shit into Clipchamp, just to put 2 things together, it like doubles the file size, because Clipchamp is really shit at making files not huge. Don't know why. Yeah, I was doing that thing for a bit, where I was like making awful mashups because I downloaded Fruity Loops, and the ironic thing was like most of the mashups I ended up making. Okay, well that's not true. In the first batch that I made, like I made 2 volumes of that first batch, most of them were made in Fruity Loops PC. What's that from? I distinctly remember some like rap, where one of the lines was some guy going Fruity Loops PC. Don't know what that line's from. It's bugging me. Yeah, first volume it was mostly Fruity Loops, but then after that I started using Clipchamp because it's easier to change the speed of a track in Clipchamp. Don't know how Fruity Loops works. Man, even with that fan, sure is hot. Having that lamp directly on me probably ain't helping either, but I kind of want it to not be ridiculously dark. I think staring at the screen has been kind of fucking up my eyes a bit because the lighting in this room is so weird right now. The main light's not on, so the screen is like brighter in comparison to the rest of the room than it normally is. Name hot girl. She gets real heavy. She don't like that very much. She is friends with a fish. She's also friends with this thing. Every time Sekibanki loses a head, where's the other one come from? Do they just sort of materialize? Or does Sekibanki have like infinite pockets where the heads reside? Oh. Alright, at some point I'm just going to have to make myself lose. And then find out that I still didn't. Alright, so there is a less than 0% chance that before the 2-hour mark, I fail to get enough points to get all the upgrades. If that happens, it's a bad ending. There's nothing I can do about that, because I am not putting another recording to this, because then I have to staple it at the end, and then it's Clipchamp, and then it'll be a much bigger file size, and I'll already deal with that. Yeah, the views on these GM videos have been kind of weird because for some reason the Kotaku Run video like got over 1,000 views. I have no idea why. And then it seemed like after that, just the overall views of these got down. Seems to kind of be like that. I don't know. Again, I don't really get how the views on GM games work because they're completely unrelated. So this one will get some views and then this one won't. And I don't know why, but like, the games are completely unrelated. And it's completely out of my control. The best I can do to get these to be watched is to try to come up with a more flattering thumbnail. Which a lot of the times I don't really try that hard. I kind of, normally the GM games on the site, they have like a thumbnail. And that I use that one. And every now and then, if I feel like sometimes I don't do that. I think the most recent example is Feather Quill. Well, I didn't just use the thumbnail for that because it didn't have any character on it. And I assume if I put cute Touhou in the thumbnail of video, it'll make more people watch it. I mean, I've said before I don't really care about the views for my gameplay videos. Which I don't. No, it's like slightly different for the jam videos, because I feel like, if I got someone to discover one of these games when they didn't know about it beforehand because they watched my video, I don't know. It makes me feel like I did something. Whereas, when I play any other game, like, I highly doubt anyone watching me play Undertale Yellow didn't already know what Undertale Yellow was before I played it, Oh boy, I played Deltarune, but nobody's done that before, I mean, Hackery Shrine Temple does this too, so like, in case anyone stumbled across one of these videos I made that didn't happen to catch them playing it. If they have played it, they haven't played all of these. Because there's fucking thousands of them. Maybe not that many, but like, I like go through the list of some of the jams. Some of them have like over 50 in a single jam. And like, I swear every single one has like you have the Moria cleaning one, which I think had around like less than 15. That is a rarity. Most of them have like at least 30. There are so many of these games. I mean, it wasn't looking like it at the rate I was going before. But maybe now I might actually reach the end of this list, and then I'm going to go back and add more games, I guess. Because I skipped a lot. A lot. Who knows how much longer we've been doing this anyway. I finally died, wow. Yeah, I can afford these last two. There we go. I got every upgrade in the game. Yep, you get 11. Look how fast that horse goes. Look how far Sekibanki jumps. That sure is a thing. That sure is a thing. You can fall now, Sekibanki. I'm done. Sekibanki. Alright. My fingers are no longer on the keyboard. How long is this gonna take? Ugh! Are you kidding me right now? I'm not touching the keyboard. Ow. Okay, I am just jumping. Are you fucking kidding me? Am I finding out, after over an hour and 45 minutes of me playing this game, that if you don't press any of the arrow keys, Sekibanki naturally doesn't fall off the fucking horse? Are you fucking kidding me? I've been killing myself the entire time. I've been messing with the keyboard to move her left and right, so she doesn't fall off the horse if you don't do anything. Oh, it's because I've been upgrading it the whole time. That's probably why. Okay, I forgot for a second there, I forgot that was an upgrade. Alright, so, okay, that's what I'm showing off by doing this, is if you upgrade her balance to max, you literally don't have to touch them. You don't have to touch the arrow keys anymore. You just have to worry about jumping over. Imagine if there was an upgrade, though. Imagine if it really was, like, the entire time I didn't have to balance Sekibanki at all, and I was just killing myself the entire time. Wouldn't that be comedy gold? That's not the case, because I got the upgrades. There you go. This becomes a very simple jump over the things game when you max out the balancing. She just doesn't fall off anymore. Sekibanki has mastered her horse riding. that's a skill tree in 3 houses, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, it's been an hour and 15 minutes, and I need to stop. Right, that was Sekibanki's Headless Horseman something. A game I played far longer than I probably should have. Just so I could get all these upgrades for some reason. But there you go. That was this game. Pretty short game that most people probably wouldn't play as long as I did, but I did. There you go. Will I even have any time to record anything else? I don't know. Remember when I said I wouldn't say the F word, and then I'm pretty sure I've said the F word since then? I have a memory of a goldfish. Anyway, bye.